Hello, chaps. It's day something. It's day 57. And after I ended last turn, I sold some air and earth gems to Mechane in exchange for 200 blood slaves. So we're pretty well set for blood slaves. Our mind hunts, we had 3 of them on this province, and we managed to kill 2 of these hierophants in this province. So that was nice. We also went back and changed our turn to have a sally here and here, I think, and here. So in 2 of those places we sallied forth successfully, and we now regained control of those provinces. But in here, we ran into this, which was very painful. And so that's quite unfortunate. It's nice, I guess, that these living statues died. They're kind of durable. But that was pretty bad. Also, we lost some territory up here, but that was we'd already written that off. We've got our Wraith Lord out raiding this province. We got this province. Obviously, some more dead. So I set up the Sabbath with the commanders in the back, but they weren't far enough away, so they still blessed some of the people. So now we have it so they're right apart from each other. And hopefully this will work. Let's actually check what the range is. So the range on blessing is only 10 or 25 on a Holy 2. So annoying. Just so annoying. But so we're kind of holding Hinnom off a bit. He's still not actually besieging me. This is just a raiding force. We're sending a Wraith Lord up against that. What's he doing? I guess we can get him to summon some more Rakshasas. But I don't need to be patrolling so defensively in my capital either anyway, so this is kind of dumb. Don't know why I decided to do that. I've already got this guy. This guy's enough when I can't see anyone coming. Oh, but I might have that. There's that stealthy Melkart who might mess with me. Tell you what, I'll just patrol with these guys. Meanwhile, those 2 can patrol in case the stealthy Shade Mail Melkart turns up. This guy can move and patrol, I think. We'll leave these here. And we'll bring these 3 with us, move patrolling. Because these Melkarts might move onto here. We'll see. Probably not. Not really sure what they're up to. I can't mind hunt them because they have Astral. So our mind hunting today is going to target this guy. He's probably a prophet because he's on the throne province. The other thing I'll do is... Yeah, wow, he raided pretty far into here. We have some Centaur Hierophants here as well, actually. I wonder if I should mind hunt them. I'd rather just keep on... I'm just going to keep this... defending this area with this Ball of Sacreds. I don't really have any immediate plans to take this back. Yeah, he's just scouting. We've got our existing force defending this. Maybe we'll give this another blood slave. We're forging another black blood dagger so that we can ramp up the summoning a bit. Over here we're actually patrolling. Now if you look at this, it says 200. So originally we saw 108 living pillars. Then we killed 49 of them, which means there are still 59 around, right? Yeah, 59 living pillars. And he's probably able to reinforce with another 30 that he's trained since then, or something. So 79 living pillars, I don't know, is my guess. And we have, I think our sacreds are man for man about as strong as them, especially since we are casting... Why am I not casting Fog Warriors? Why am I so dumb? Why am I so bad at the game? Jesus wept. Living clouds my arse. I can't believe I'd sent this turn in. As it was. It's so useful that I do this video series, actually. So he's a Sabbath Master, then he's going to cast Divine Blessing. Whoops. What's divine channeling anyway? Oh, it's that. I'm gonna cast divine. I don't know why fanaticism is so good. Isn't that just a +1 morale? I don't know why it's Holy 4. So we're gonna cast divine blessing, and then where is it? I can't find Storm. Where the hell is Storm? Is it in Thaumaturgy or something? Oh, it's right there, okay. Then Storm, then summon Storm Power, and then Fog Warriors. All of the really important spells. And we have 3 Sabbath Slaves, which might not actually be enough for Fog Warriors. Because Fog Warriors you need to be F4, but you'd want to be higher just to make sure that you don't make yourself dumb. So you want to be air... That's not it. You actually have to be F5, realistically, to cast it. So we're boosting up to that with Summon Storm Power and 2 Communion Slaves. What else do we have? We could also cast Wrathful Skies, but that would hurt us just as much as it hurts the enemy. We could cast Mass Flight. Mass Flight would be exceptionally good. We'll cast that for sure. Oh shit. Shit, I don't have enough. I can't cast all of these spells. That's annoying. It's very annoying. Well, we have to have Summon Storm Power. And we have to have Fog Warriors first, before Mass Flight. But we need to cast Storm now. We have an Air 2 guy over there. So let's see if he can cast Sabbath Master. How much fatigue does it cost? 100, but he's high blood. And then Storm. So you need to buff up 2. But we can cast it from above. We can cast it from below that. But I'm going to add another... I'm going to make this guy a Communion Slave, just to be on the safe side. And as you may have noticed by now, we are in fact patrolling to take on these guys. Sabbath Slave, 1 slave. Yeah, we are going to just try and take on what's his face? Atlantis head on when they turn up. I just want to have a big battle. I don't want to lose the province and get besieged and get raided. I want to assert myself. I think I'm strong enough to just fight this battle. As long as the spells will go off properly, I'll have Fog Warriors. Thing is, there's 4 Basalt Kings here. I don't want to have to deal with all of those guys raiding. I just want to kill them with my Sacreds in a big climactic battle here if I can at all. What else do we have going on? Yeah, just these Wraith Lords. And they're kind of not really even being that defensive. Who am I... So I'm not defending this province, but I am moving a Wraith Lord onto this one, and I'm moving a Blood Slave Collector onto this one, and it's also defended by this guy. So we should be doing okay there. I'll even move a third one there actually. We also have a Foul Vapors cast going on here. I think that'll be very interesting to see if that works. I think it should work pretty well. Yeah, it should be okay. Unless he sees it coming, which I don't think he will. He must have seen this big battle here, though. So he knows I can theoretically cast Foul Vapors. So yeah, things are looking pretty bleak in terms of income. But we still have our armies. We still have a fair amount of gems. We're summoning another Wraith Lord. We're making some more Lightless Lanterns. We still have decent research. We're going to get to... you know, these are pretty solid research goals accomplished, although it's quite late. Mechane is on board with us, that's why he's giving us good trades. And it looks like I persuaded Therados and Mechane to attack Hinnom. That wasn't my intention, but that's how it's turned out. So I'm basically allied with 2 of the weaker players against 2 of the weaker players and 2 of the stronger players. So if that makes for an alliance system overall, then we are definitely the weaker alliance. But we'll see how it turns out. The problem is that Hinnom and Pan don't have a border. So, and the problem is that Niflheim only borders me. So I don't really have much I can do. And that's about it for this turn. I guess I should raid this province, actually. That's something I should do. Get this researcher, the no items researcher in Drain 2. And this guy. And they can just turn up with a bunch of soulless. And just spam summon imps. I think that's what we're going to do. Yep, that's our turn now. Although there's only this in that province anyway, which is not terribly important. Yeah, that's all for this turn. Our next move is just waiting to see where the enemy thugs pop up. I don't know where they're going to pop up, or if they're going to pop up. Also, if he's moving on to Xibalba this turn with a huge force, then we might as well raid here with some imps as well, actually. Oh, we're already raiding with some sacreds. I could bring some sacreds into this province as well. That's what I'll do. Because I've been too passive, I think, with the counter raiding. I have had some little raids I sent out which just died, and maybe that discouraged me a bit, but you have to keep going. It's not like they haven't lost stuff in these raids either. And it's not like, you know, when we retake provinces, that does let us blood hunt. The problem with retaking this province is that Niflheim could also easily go for it if they feel like it. So maybe I won't do that. But I need the money. I'm not training any mages. I'm not spending any gold right now, which is pretty bad. I think I actually have to spend some gold. Maybe that's what I need to do. I need to keep spending gold. And I'll keep forging these lightless lanterns, but something I will consider is alchemizing fire gems again. That's something I should have been doing, actually. I do need the research as well, though. So that's our turn. We've decided to once more take a stand on our forts. This doesn't really have much siege power here, this little force. And we have some good casters in here. And they're summoning folks. We don't have enough astral income to fund Mindhunt and also build boosters, so it does look like we're stuck on 3 Mindhunters right now. But that's okay. And we're just sending a Wraithlord to take those guys out. Already mentioned that. Maybe I should raid this province. I actually am raiding that province. And we're also breaking siege here. And we're breaking siege here with just the 1 cavalryman, just to see if it works. Better not forget to put these research items on someone. Come on, where's our researchers? Right, and that's the end of turn 57. Things are kind of... they almost feel like they've calmed down, because it feels like Hinnom isn't attacking me with a proper army. And it feels like Atlantis I've got the upper hand against. I guess I need to save my words for when Pan turns up, because there's no way Pan is just raiding me. he's definitely going to turn up with a proper force eventually. He's definitely going to be after... How good is this throne for me? It's got 2 gem income. We've got a lot of income in this province. Yeah, we can't afford to lose this to a hostile power. The gold isn't much, but the income is... The gem income there is very important. We need to defend this province as well because we're blood hunting it. And this one. We need to keep things going, for sure. I think I have someone blood hunting Sloth Meadows. No, we have someone blood hunting here, even though we haven't seen an enemy commander in it. Just this one centaur that we actually ran away from quicker than he ran away from us. But I think he will have a sneaking commander in this province. So that's the end of this turn. And I'll see you chaps next time. Hello chaps, it's turn 58. And this is a fairly good turn for us. We found some scouts and we only lost a few of our own sacreds to Heator at this time, which is really okay. Another good thing that happened for us is that there was no battle here because Atlantis retreated. I think they must be in this province. Or they could be going here to attack Niflheim, probably not though. Although it would explain why Niflheim's being so passive. We're going to ignore this guy because he can't siege by himself, so he's just a raider really. And we need to move this force up here to deal with these guys. What else is going on? So we counter-raided in these 2 provinces as well. Yeah, things are looking up. We're going to train this mage. Hinnom is still besieging this place, and they are sieging it down. So we actually have to move this whole army onto here. We move patrolling, we're also patrolling with these guys. We're summoning some more guys. We're making a lot of endless bags of wine just to avoid too much in terms of morale issues. What else is there to say? So we had some funny raiding where our Wraithlord wasn't very well scripted, so he did kind of die. He cast some fairly useless spells and then died, mostly to his own fatigue. And the ones that died to Horde of Skeletons, these Horror Mantises. Fortunately, they get debuffed by my Dominion quite a bit. But good thing about Wraithlords is that they can respawn. So we're using them some more. And we have 2 here, one that we just summoned and another here. And really the concern I have about Wraithlords is that they can be killed permanently by Soulslay or by Mindhunt, which of course uses Soulslay. And Hinnom does actually have access to Mindhunt, because they have Astral 3 mages, which can just make a Skullcap, and then they're off. So we're raiding all of these provinces, we're shifting people around and doing a bit of blood hunting, although our blood hunting is only 150 this turn. But, you know, it's nothing compared to the income we were getting last time, but it's something. In this province we had, we cloud trapezed in. We caught a pan, but he was actually scripted to retreat. So all we did was get the province. And so for 3 air gems for the cloud trapeze, we killed some chaff. We gained a little bit of gold and a death gem. It's okay, I guess. Our mind hunting last turn was successful. We killed the centaur that was over here. We didn't kill the Melkart that was here. We killed someone called Rames. I don't know who that was. Maybe it was just a scout. We suspected there was someone here last turn, so we mind hunted it. And there was someone, but they survived. And you'll notice that I've shifted 2 of my mind hunting gears over to this province. That's so that they can mind hunt over here. And hopefully Pan doesn't have any astral. I don't think they do. Another thing that we're going to be doing, also if we get really desperate, if they move over here, I think Mindhunt has a range of 6, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they can still a mind hunt from their next turn. We might have to shift these guys over to be the mind hunters, because they can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we can mind hunt all of the way down here as well. The good thing about mind hunting the Centaur thugs is they only have like 13 resistance. So the chance to hit them is, I think, to kill them is 37% chance. Whereas this guy has 20 magic resistance, so he is not going to die to mind hunt. I think it's an 11% chance, maybe? No, it's actually a 6% chance to kill something with 20 resistance. Until you forge penetration gear, which we are not doing this turn. We are doing something much more important with our astral gems, which is we're forging two slave matrices and a crystal matrix. We're going to put the slave matrices on two of these rectipatters and the crystal matrix on one of these guys, and that will have a synthetic communion with two slaves, one master. The master will be boosted by one path, and that means this Holy 2 becomes Holy 3. Even if it's only a scout, it will go off automatically. We will have Holy 3, we'll have Divine Blessing, and we will retain our sanity. This is costing us 15 astral gems, 15 astral pearls, and 15 earth gems. So it is not cheap. It's probably worth it, and it's definitely worth it just for the convenience factor and the fact that I'm not going to go quite so bonkers from the annoyance. So we're trying to sort out all of our blood hunting. I realised that I was really overkilling this province. The more blood hunters you have in a province, the less they generate per person, because unrest is generated, which interferes with their blood hunting, and that happens before patrolling. So no matter how many patrollers you have, the unrest generated in each individual turn will still interfere with the blood hunting in that particular turn. So we're going to reduce the amount of blood hunters we have. We have blood hunting set up in this province, and that's probably a bad idea. I should probably shift it into Iago's Scramble. And I should also cast Call of the Winds. I don't think we're going to get raided in this province this turn, so I'm just going to... but I don't want to change any of these patrollers. I'm going to risk it by getting this guy to not patrol. I'm going to call Oh, I don't have enough magic gems. I didn't realise I must have spent all of my air gems. Oh, I gave them all to these guys in case he moves on to this province next turn. If he does, then he'll get slam dunked, I think. Or he might just gem burn me. I'm going to gem burn him. I have a Raktipatter with 4 items, which is enough to trigger gem usage. And he's going to break siege. Where is he? I've never actually done this before in a game. Where the hell is he? Did I forget to do it? What? What? There he is. And as you can see, he's scripted to retreat. And, oh, he does have Berserker. So maybe I should give him something else. Otherwise he might get caught. Oh man, this is so annoying. If he gets hit by a single stray arrow, he'll actually Berserk and go back in. So I have to give him that, I think. I don't know if they even have archers, but like any amount of damage will make him Berserk and head back towards them and die. And then they have a free armor of knights. No thanks. So we're risking a more valuable item now, but I'm sure he'll be fine. That would be so annoying if he Berserked, though. It would be so annoying. I'm going to move this guy over here because we are going to be generating a lot of Solus in this province. With all of these corpses. This amount of corpses is just terrible. So what else is there to report? Therados is down here again, which kind of makes me nervous. But he messaged me saying that he was planning to attack Pan. So I think he's down here to go here, to go here, to go here, to go here, and then he's in Pan. And he can actually go right into Pan's cap circle from up on those candles. So he might also decide to attack me, but I think he probably has the impression that I'm weaker than Pan. And also he knows that I'm being attacked by a lot of people. He can see Hinnom raiding me, you know. So we'll see how that goes. Also, I saw an amusing post in the Discord, which was that the reason my unrest rituals on this province failed, and I had to retreat, isn't because they patrolled it out. It's actually because they ate all of the people here. The Melkarts stationed in this province killed the entire population, and when there's no civilians, you actually don't have any unrest. Which also has implications for this province. because they might be able to get their dominion on here if they're all preaching, and in 6 turns they'll have eaten everyone. And so if they get order scales and no unrest, the stats on my troops, these guys, will have a grand total of 17 attack skill. Okay, so they'll actually still have okay attack skill. I thought it was worse than that. What's the deal with that? 17? Chaos Power 1. So they'll still have 11 attack skill, which actually isn't that bad. Maybe I shouldn't have pussied out of besieging this place. Oh well. Atlantis has retreated, already mentioned that. Pan has been very passive because of the mind hunting I really got them with. Hinnom is obviously besieging me with a serious force, and there's no way he's not sending more reinforcements. He must be. So we are going to have a huge shit show here. Either we have a gigantic battle here, or he breaks it up and he raids here and he raids and he backs off again, and that'll be a huge pain in the arse, because he can basically fight anywhere, whereas I'm constrained to my own dominion. And I also have problems feeding my troops, which can cause morale issues, and a demon with... let me scroll down again. So a demon with 18 morale that starves still has 14 morale, but then if they go into a Melkart's fear aura, that can get down to 9. And then if a Melkart instantly kills them and also transmits damage through Blood Bond, that can definitely cause rouse. So we really want to avoid having too many of our troops starving if we can do that. But speaking of an amusing Melkart death, where is it? There was a very amusing battle. I'm still kind of baffled by it, so I'm going to call it the detailed battle log. Actually, the very detailed battle log. Now, something to note about Hinnom is that they haven't researched Alteration 7 yet, so they're not casting Phoenix Pyre, and they're also not casting Marble Warriors. I think they'll definitely reach Phoenix Pyre Alteration 7 research very soon, though. So he is. He's got 18 protection. He's got a nice repel weapon here with a lot of attack. He's got fear to boost his repel more, because you have an easier time repelling people if you lower their morale, and if you have very high attack skill. He's got the Vine Shield. He doesn't have regeneration though, which is definitely a flaw, which is exactly what we're about to see. If he had regeneration, he would have done fine here. And he's taken no damage yet. Actually, let's turn on the everything. So he's repelling attacks. He's instantly killing people. He's causing bleeding. This guy's running away already. This guy is running away and he's dead. This guy's routing and vine shielded. He's still full HP, and then look what happens. Still nothing. He's still just killing the PD. These guys have 13 morale because his fear hasn't hit everyone. But then look, 9 damage out of nowhere. He's got a limp. His defense skill is getting harassed a bit. Quite a lot. Another bit of damage gets through. 12 damage. Where is that? I can't actually see it because we're seeing all of these repel rolls. Maybe I need to go onto the detailed version. Heavy infantry hit Melkart for 4 damage. 12 damage. They're all vine shielded and feared and dying. This is such a close battle. But it's very funny because this Melkart actually dies. These guys are routing. Did we get in some damage there? I'm not even sure. Oh, we did. I've missed a load of damage. He's neutral on fatigue. And, but then what happens is he actually dies. It's really weird. See, he gets hit in the face by, I think that was a mounted commander, and then he routs. And because we controlled all of the adjacent provinces, when you rout and there's no adjacent provinces to retreat to, you automatically die. So we just killed the Shade Mail Thug. So that was very convenient. And we killed it with these guys and some PD. Really a great feeling. What else? We have a debt of 20 Earth Gems to pay off to Makoni. And yeah, we have 10 turns, 8 turns left to pay it off. And we also want to forge a bunch of penetration gear. I don't know if I'm going to be able to pay them off. I mean, I'm going to have to. But I might have to beg or do it slowly or whatever. It's quite annoying that I have that. So yeah, things are going okay, but the pop kill is really annoying. The thugs are really annoying. Hinnom is going to research Phoenix Pyre, and then the Melkarts will be such a pain in the ass to kill. But we should do okay. Do they actually have... Melkarts don't have dark vision. That's very important for these battles in caves, and also for these battles where we're casting darkness. Come to think of it, I probably shouldn't script darkness in a cave. I'll have to ask the Discord if there's any benefit to it. We should have raided this province, but we had our commander set to cast Blessing 5 times and then retreat. So that was annoying. Our Wraith Lords can conquer these provinces, which will be nice. I wonder if I should actually... Oh no, you can't blood hunt underwater. That's annoying. I was going to say maybe I could do that, but you can't. This guy's going to be killing this. And that's about it for this turn. We're scraping along. Mechane has said that they'll invade Hinnom, and Therados is probably invading Pan. They might be going to attack me or Atlantis instead, but they're probably invading Pan. So that's this turn. I had to re-record it because the first time I did this, the video was half an hour long for some reason. So see you chaps next time when turn 59 starts. Hello chaps, hello, 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 it is turn 59. And this was an okay turn. So 3 of our raiding groups that we sent out got killed actually, because the Atlanteans have not truly left. I said last turn that their army must be here, but it looks like it's just loitering there, so I guess they're just going to mess with me from the sea, which is quite annoying. They've sent out some Basalt Kings. This died to PD again. Bloody annoying. But these are Basalt Kings. In exchange, we don't really have much. The thing is, I don't want to delab these guys, because their research is just incredible. If I delab them, they could also get stuck out the side of this fort when Niflheim finally attacks it, although I'm starting to wonder if that'll ever happen. But the Basalt King that was in this fort decided to raid this province this turn, and I suspected he would actually, and we caught him. We killed him. We got these items from him, the Lodestone and the Frostbrand, so that's nice. Basalt Kings don't grow on trees. You can only make one every 2 turns, and the gear wasn't free either, so that's very nice for us, especially for a fairly small nation like what's his face, Atlantis. This province is really heading down towards 0 population, and you can see how the Dominion is really... Actually, we got a Dominion point out there, which is surprising. You can see how... But here it's down to 1 candle. So he's definitely winning the Dom push. He must have more than 6 basic Dom strength, and he must have about 15 temples. So he could easily be on 11 Dom strength or 12 with temples. With the throne of bureaucracy for conflict purposes. So it's not really a surprise that we're losing that. And we actually have a couple Raksha Rajas preaching here. We're making the Astral Eyes of the Void, 3 of them this turn. So Pan raided our provinces again, and here what happened was the Thug killed several hundred of our Solars. Let's see if we can click on the right province. As you can see, it's been a pretty busy turn. That was our sally just to check what's going on. This is the force that we're going to be sending our entire army against next turn. And as you can see, it's actually a kind of diminutive force, but we still need to push it off. It'll probably retreat and not fight us, to be honest. They're not really geared, but they're buffed quite well. You know what? if they retreat from me, again, if they go here especially, then I might just keep on chasing them. Or I might, actually, if they go that way, I'll probably go this way, and then I'll attack Yomi. If they fight me, then I'm pretty sure I'll win. And if they go here, then that's a pain in the arse, but it's nothing that hasn't happened several times before. It's just this particular throne province I can't lose, because the research boost is... the scales are actually not Magic 2 anymore, but sometimes it's Magic 2, sometimes it's Drain 2, it fluctuates, but it's a very valuable research station for me, especially with all of these guys in it, with all these items. Our Bloodslave eco was, let's see, that's 90, 108, 120, 146, 166, 173. So pretty bad, but kind of tolerable considering the circumstances. Oh yeah, and what happened here was a centaur didn't die, it actually retreated onto here, but it killed several hundred PD before finally retreating. So we're just going to slap 3 mind hunts on this province next turn, and I think that'll kill them. I'm kind of wondering if Pan actually has a Shade Mail Astral mage that he snuck into this province. Because he could have recruited a Lizardman, and he could have bought a Shade Mail, can't speak now, from Hinnom. And he could be baiting me, but I can't not mind hunt because they might get feeble-minded, especially since I have 3 ungeared guys who can just pick up the gear, because being feeble-minded doesn't destroy the gear. So it won't actually be a huge issue. If anything, I have terrible upkeep issues, and it's not actually a problem if they die. Really, it's not that bad. I don't think he does have a Shade Mail wearing Astral Mage here, but it's definitely something to consider. Therados raided this province, and Therados also has an army here, so it's nice to see that he probably isn't attacking me. I think this army is different. I think this army is the one that was here last turn, and the army that was here last turn is now here, so he's really pouring them in. So Pan is not going to have a nice time once that happens. And we also have a scout in place to view this invasion, which is quite nice. One of our scouts died to harpies the previous turn, so our scouting's not amazing, but we've got some scouts over here that we're going to send out. We can't train any troops or mages this turn. We have this guy who's finishing up, although I was just saying how I didn't actually need that many of them. Oh, and we have this guy. I forgot I'd issued a training order here. Well, that's very nice. It's always good to have more of them. Good research as well. We have Enchantment 8. And ironically, we're not even going to bother with the long-planned Flame Spirit Firefend cast, because we actually have the Divine Blessing. Oh yeah, so here's our army. It's going to be... A lot of these mages on this screen are actually going to stay in this province and research like this one. But we've got Howl, we've got Relief, we've got 3 of these guys casting Marble Warriors and stuff. We've got Mass Regen, very important spell. In fact, it's so important that I'm going to give her something just to make her a bit safer, like that. Just in case he casts Earthquake. He could cast Earthquake. Although Earthquake will go off after Mass Regen, so they'll just regenerate all the damage. We've got the Ravenous Swarm, which I think will be... It's a pretty minor spell, honestly, but it'll be nice to have. Against those high-value Long Dead, comparatively. We've got Bloodlust. We've got Hellbind Heart. I don't know really why I'm casting that. It's not particularly important. Hopefully he'll cast those Illusory Warriors off script, although I suppose that's not really important. We've got a lot of these wine bags. They might be useful if we decide to advance further towards Yomi, although that probably won't be our decision, because we don't want to fight with 10 attack skill. 10 attack skill is just... As long as we can cast Darkness, actually, that should even the scales, and then it's okay. Yeah, that should be our plan. And we actually have Darkness and Wailing Winds. And of course, with the Communion Master, we're casting Divine Blessing, which is very good. We've also got some people casting Living Clouds. And that's our army. Quite a lot of demons, a lot of very powerful spells. But of course, Hinnom is not committing a fraction of the forces that we are. And we haven't even sent anyone to counter-raid this province, which is a bit pathetic. Why haven't I done that? The answer is that I was going to say that we don't have the forces, but we do have the forces. So why am I being such a pathetic pansy? And why am I not... Am I sending one of these guys? Yeah. So he can take over the Blood Hunt patrolling. Who are we going to send on this battle? I could send her. Can Death cast any really nasty spells to mess with the Melkart? I nearly swore how vulgar that would have been. Enfeeble, kind of a bitch move. Blast of Unlife is a projectile and therefore always misses because Dominion's 5 projectiles are a joke. Except in large battles. Terror, not particularly good. Leeching Darkness. I don't know, I'm just going to leave her at home actually. But we do have enough Sacreds to beat off this pathetic little raid. This low commitment, low effort raid. This is... I need to actually deal with this, otherwise I just have no self-respect. So we're going to use this guy to cast Blessing 5 times, and that will be enough, I think. This guy, however, with Air 3 can cast... we're going to go for the Air Elementals, I think. We're going to go... Where is it? I can never find the spell. I can never find Storm when I want it. Okay, there it is. Storm is actually Air 4. That's why I always forget it exists. But it's less fatigue than that, anyway. Then Reinvigoration would be the next play for sure. Then it would be a double casting of Living Clouds. So let's see, we need 2 gems to cast Storm, I think. And then 2 for each Living Clouds. And we also need a Blood Slave. And he's going to be standing over here without bodyguards, because that's dumb. And this guy's going to be standing over here. And actually no, he should have bodyguards. Because they might have those Mazik scripted to attack rear. And this guy's going to be standing here with these guys on hold and attack. Blessing 5 times, Living Clouds, cast spells, and maybe we can add in some chaff just to, for some reason. Why not? Actually no, I'm going to use them to patrol. So, and let's bring this guy along as well, because you can't be complacent when you're trying to fight a Melkart. Maybe the chest wound would be better than this pathetic sword. Yeah, this is just a... I got that from an event, I'm fairly sure. Double Flesh Eater. Alternatively, yeah, double dual wielding is not a problem in this case. Because they're short weapons, I guess. That's why it's not a problem. So that's that. Should be okay, actually. I think I will bring this chaff, just in case they get surrounded. Because that can be an issue, being surrounded. So even bringing along terrible little units like that is useful. This guy's going to move on to here, because I want 2 thugs. And I'm also going to leave some blood slaves on these blood hunters, because it's just too obvious. Like, Pan is obviously going to want to attack this, unless they're really distracted by all of the... hey, you know what would be an amusing dick move? I'm going to actually... oh, Pan is not going to anticipate this. Yeah. Get messed with. Oh, that's so funny. If I want to see how this turns out. That's so funny. Hello, Abyssia. That's actually so amusing. I'm surprised Abyssia hasn't been Dom killed, actually. I'm surprised he hasn't just had a Dominion death yet. But that's very funny. So that's the turn, really. Therados is on my side. Mechane has to be on my side, I think, because he doesn't actually have a border with me. And he said he's going to attack Hinnom. The problem is that he wants me to fight Hinnom at the same time as him, but Hinnom has Order 3 scales. Like, look at this province, Order 3. And he's he's also destroying the population in entire provinces, such as this one, so that I can't actually raise the unrest. I don't know if I mentioned that in my last video, but I saw him posting on Discord about how the reason my unrest rituals didn't work here, I'm sure I mentioned this in the previous turn, was because that actually his Melkarts had eaten everyone, so they couldn't riot, because they no longer existed. And so these magic sites, appropriately Death, are the only things left in this whole province. Death? It's a pretty juicy target, actually, this province. I'd quite like to have this income. And that's our turn. I'm glad that Niflheim isn't doing much yet. I don't have a patrol going, do I? No, I'm not patrolling this province, because I don't think he'll attack me. I think he is leery of Heat 2. And Termol 3, of course. We're getting Dom pushed over here as well, actually. Which is surprising, because the nearest temple's there. So if anything, this should be like neutral territory for Dominion. I feel like other people... Maybe my Dominion is getting lowered by Therados' stuff over here. Yeah, he's got a temple as well. So I'm kind of contesting both of them at the same time for Dominion. Atlantis, I don't know why they're being such pussies. That's basically this turn. Is there anything else to respond to? Oh yeah, the last thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to pay off 15 Earth Gems to Mekane. And, yeah, that really is it. We're summoning a lot of Rakshasa warriors. I think we spent something like 220 slaves this turn. So, that was nice. But that's the end of this turn. See you chaps in turn 60. Hello, hello, hello chaps. This is turn 60, and a lot of raiding occurred in this turn, and one big battle against Hinnom. Apart from that, it's the same old. We're getting raided to shit everywhere. Our income is complete garbage. We're using all of our gems. Niflheim is still sitting tight in here, except that they actually raided on top of here with that huge giant. So I'm not sure what I can really do about him. Also, Pan's force has kind of gone to ground. They left a single Mayanad here, and now they're just messing me around. They're just really messing with me so much. I'm hoping that if I go here that they'll raid this province, and I can catch them out that way instead of going here or here, which is perhaps more obvious. I'm trying to mind hunt some of these guys. Oh, and here was a pretty big force, so we lost a big force of blood hunters here. We're patrolling here so we can get some more income out of this once we get rid of the unrest. And we're also going to be able to assert ourselves. Oh, 240 units. Mainly living pillars. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. If he's making 6 living pillars a turn, which I think is theoretically possible. Actually, how much resources do they cost? 240 mainly living pillars. Okay, so he's probably only making about... Let's call it 6. Let's call it 6, because you can stack a load of these guys up and they do generate resources. Let's say he's making 6 a turn, then he could in theory have 360, yeah, so obviously we killed about 60 and he won't have been making that many for the whole game. But yeah, it could be that he has... and this could be an overblown scouting report, but it could also be an undersized one. Actually, it's larger than the one from last turn, so maybe... Let's say that there's 200 and that he has 120 living pillars. Okay. So things are not looking too good when he actually gets his arse in gear. I think he's waiting here because he is just bringing up reinforcements. Maybe he understands that I am not able to blood hunt effectively. So the usual things are happening. Our Wraithlord is dying to a Floatcat Horror. He got insta-gibbed by 1 life drain and 1 damage reversal. Well, that's not really... That's 2 shot rather than 1 shot. We didn't lose any Raksharaja thugs yet. Can't remember what happened there. Therados is invading Pan. And like I said, he is actually going through here. So Pan is not in a great place. Hopefully he'll decide to retreat with this force. Our mind hunts from the previous turn were very effective. We killed 2 of those Pan thugs. Unless Pan has started stacking scouts in the same provinces as his thugs. Mashaka, as I keep saying, has also promised that they're going down here. And the fact that they haven't got rid of these Indies yet does suggest that that's probably true. Pan is probably pleased as well that Mashaka is kind of keeping on Hinnom's case a bit. Pan and Mashaka have probably made an agreement. Mekane. I always get them confused. It's Mekane. So I'd say things are kind of looking up in the long term, but I do need to end these raiders. I need to. And it's really hard. At least we have another penetration. We have these Eyes of the Void going on though, so that's very good. Item is cursed. Okay. So if we get feeble-minded, that does lose us the services of 5 Astral Pearls, but at least we can redistribute the boosters. Yeah, we don't really have any spare gold. I'm not really going to go through all of this raiding. It's just individual thugs and Mazik cords and maybe some long dead somewhere, or a horror followed by a Great Hawk Commander. I like this. It's very skillful. I like that he does this. Of course, it's very annoying, but I'm impressed. So yeah, let's watch the big news of the turn, which happened down here. You know, I was pretty sure Hinnom would see me coming with a huge army and he would retreat or raid into here. He didn't. He stayed exactly where he was. And let's see if any interesting events happened. We got some gold, which just tells you that I'd have even less without the event. And these assassination attempts all failed except the one on the Raktapata. We lost a scout. This is... Abyssia finally died because our mind hunt on this commander failed. Oh, he had 2 anyway. Got some raiding going on. But yeah, let's get into the main news of this turn. Because he stayed here, he fought, and he lost big time. Also, we had Divine Blessing up with our little Crystal Matrix trick. Even some of these guys right out in front survived this battle. So as you can see, he has 6 Melkarts and about 15 Amis and 5 similar mages. He has some very elite undead as well, and these guys, who are not elite in this battle because they don't have dark vision. And we cast all of the big spells in this battle, I think. He cast Hal, but we also cast Hal. His Pretender God was here. So I'm just going to let it play. Oh, right, I better pause. So we cast Natural Storm to boost our Living Air casts. Although I did then realise that Living Air is actually a size 4 elemental. So I might not bother with Living Air and Storm Power anymore. I might just start casting the size 6 elementals again, instead of Living Air. We both cast Hal. He actually cast Rigor Mortis. He cast it with this guy. Where is he? Yeah, he cast it on this Dust Priest. So he would have cast Hidden in Sand to get these guys. That's where he got them from. Very expensive. So are Whites, so are all these commanders. I cast Darkness, and it actually did make it darker, even though it's already in a cave. So now their attack skill is down to 9. And what happens is I have my guys set to attack rear. Also I cast Fog Warriors, and I also cast Mass Regen, so this is 20% regen. And Fog Warriors. And Bloodlust as well, so 41 damage. Which is higher than the possible level of protection that you're able to reach in this game. So as you can see, these Rephite warriors just die. They don't really do anything. The Dustwalkers are kind of... They're honestly not really that amazing. They're much better than human infantry, but they have decent defense. They have good defense skill. They have a spear with 21 damage, but they're still not as good man for man as a Rakshasa. I also cast the Ravenous Swarm. Now, the interesting thing about Rigor Mortis is it kind of almost worked. As you can see, the attack rear led to us getting all of these guys behind, and no one was able to flee from this battle. There was not a single survivor. I completely annihilated this enemy force. But it was interesting to see Rigor Mortis at work. Like this guy, let's have a look at the bodyguards. So the bodyguards have just been sitting around, and you can see that they're pretty highly fatigued just from that. 90 fatigue. Actually, that might be biased by the Let's have a look at these guys. 112. We let a few rounds go past. Now he's on 143. He may have cast a spell though. But anyway, the important point is that Rigor Mortis, it just didn't quite work. I don't know if I cast Relief. I guess I should have cast it, but I think I didn't actually. But it wasn't really good enough. And so here's the Pretender God and the last Melkart going down. And yeah, we basically obliterated them. This guy cast a lot of Moors from the Earth. It just wasn't enough. I outnumbered him, and I didn't out-thug him, but I definitely outcast him on elite troops and elite spells, and I got an awful lot of loot from this battle. Let's have a look. This is all the stuff I got. I'm using the Herald Lance for morale now. I'm also going to use the Dragon Helmet and the Ring of Regen and most of this stuff. The Flambeaux, however, are things that I'm keeping right here, because they do triple damage from demons. I do not want them to exist in this game. I'm just going to leave them where they are right there. The interesting thing is that it's 15 fire gems, which is not cheap, especially since that could be 3 lightless lanterns. So these are not free items at all. And I guess I actually messed up and I didn't put these on anyone this turn. But it's too late to edit that because turn 61 has already rolled. But that's your little overview of turn 60. I'll just we're mind hunting. Yeah, we're mind hunting the Pan guys in these provinces, I think, and we're not looking too good for blood hunting. That's for sure. Because after these guys got killed, we took in. Let's see. This is 79, 90, 106, 116. Not very good, and we're also getting messed with by we got attacked here, so we can't blood hunt here either. Can't blood hunt here because can't blood hunt here, obviously. So yeah, things are not good. Things are not good, and we're going to get our blood hunting shut down next turn here as well by these guys. So we are probably going to have to continue blood hunting our capitals. Well, see you chaps next time. That was this turn. Hello chaps, it's turn 61, and as you can see we now have 2,000 income, whereas last turn we had 1,300. So it has been a fantastic turn for reclaiming territories, and we even raided this place for the first time ever, which is quite good. So we're getting a couple of gems and some gold from this one. Nothing really happened here, so we're going to move on past this place, and we're going to just leave this guy by himself with this script to storm the castle, because I don't think there's anything significant inside the castle. I should maybe be casting the unrest generating rituals on Yomi this turn, but I think I'll just mess around instead. I'm cloud trapezing a thug over here. If I don't have the unrest I need, and if I see an enemy that I can't fight without chaos power, even though I'm casting darkness and so on, I can just retreat, I think. I don't think Hinnom will have another gigantic force like that one anytime soon, at least not immediately. Down here we messed up some raids because our Raktapatas were scripted to cast spells, but they gave up on casting spells because there weren't any significant spells they could cast, and so they ran in first ahead of their bodyguards, which is quite annoying. But our Wraithlords are doing work. We've got a Wraithlord here, a Wraithlord here, and a Wraithlord here that have all retaken provinces. We've got these 2 Raksharajas. We had a successful province defense here, I believe. Actually, no, this was just killing scouts. We killed Elos and Astrodyne. I think those are both Centaur thugs. I can't be certain, but I believe they are. Now this guy, Sanguinate Vista, I think he's Catoblaphon, isn't he? Because Catoblaphon survived. Oh, it's Satyricos. Now he has 16 magic resistance, which is a fair bit actually. Goodness, and that's without any magic resistance granting items. But we're casting all 3 of our mind hunts on him. So I think if that's a -4, if our penetration is 12, I mean if our penetration is +2 and the base equal MR would be like 10 without any boosters, and he has 16 magic resistance, so we're casting it 3 times. The chance that he survives all 3 attacks is, I think, 55%, but this is quite a thugged out kit, so he's got a lot of gear, so it will be worth it if we can kill him. We also have lots of people running around in all directions as well. We have these. Oh yes, we reached Blood 7, so now we have people patrolling with Leech. We've got people patrolling with Leech here, we've got them patrolling with Leech. Where else do we have them? Not there. And here. And actually that's the only places that we have people patrolling with Leech. But oh well, as you can see, we've basically run out of Blood Slaves. We only managed to gather any Blood Slaves in these 2 provinces, and they had up to 61 Blood Slaves. So that was... Yes, no, it's not easy. Things are not easy right now. But at least the gold's coming back online, so I decided to recruit another Rakshasani, or whatever they're called. What are they called? Rakshasi. Now, the actual spells that we can cast with this include summon Satmanishada, and oh, we could actually summon a vampire, but I don't think we need them because we have Cloud Trapeze and we have Sacred National Blood summons. But when we get here, we are definitely going to switch into Dinavas and Mandehas, and we're going to ignore the Azrapas and the Rakshasa warriors that we've been summoning up until this point. However, by then we might not really have any Blood Slaves, so we'll see. We decided to cast Arcane Probing and also Voice of Apsu, but more for nostalgia purposes than anything else. We killed quite a lot of enemy raiders this turn. Let's see. So we're killing PD here, we're killing PD here. This is Mekane attacking in a province that we had a scout in. As you can see, they're really engaged in some serious overkill. This is the annoying one. I think this is... Yeah, that's the centaur that we were looking at just now. This is more killing of PD. This is Niflheim killing RPD. This is us killing more PD. This is us killing more PD. They didn't even leave anyone there. More PD dying. RPD dying. Their PD. I thought we killed a thug today. This is where we had them scripted to cast spells, but instead they ran in and died. This is all 3 Kamazot's Mazik groups coming together all at once. I don't know why they brought them all together in one place, but fair enough. This is another PD kill. Oh no, we actually ran away. So the Raktapada didn't die, but got very injured. It's so annoying. More PD dying. I don't know what the deal is with that. I think maybe he thinks I'm a lazy player who won't put PD in. No, I will always put PD in. Damn, that's annoying. Oh, so we didn't actually kill a single enemy thug this turn, except for the 2 that we killed with Mind Hunt. So that's definitely worth it. Atlantis is still here, and it looks like previous turn when this said 240 was an overestimate, and it's actually 200, but mostly living pillars. So, yeah, it can't be... If it was 240, then that means it's at least 120, and it can't be more than 400. So we know that this is a force of between 120 and 400. Probably more like... Is that right? Is my maths correct? Huh. But yes, it's probably about 200, so it's probably about 150 living pillars here. But we've fought living pillars already, and I don't feel afraid of them at all, and I think we'll do fine. The only thing is that I really ought to have someone over there who can cast the big nature spells. Can this guy cast them? Do we have a nature 2 mage in that fort, like we ought to? I will recruit one, and then we can transfer a thingamajiggy, and then a nature scepter, and then that's enough to cast mass regen. You just incur 400 fatigue, but that's okay. You just have to suffer the fatigue and maybe feeble-mind yourself. Not a big deal. So yeah, we're looking okay versus Atlantis. They also gave up on raiding us after we killed that one Basalt King, which is nice, but we're getting raided by 2 other players. I mean, this area we're getting raided by 3 players at once, which is pretty funny. Theridos is kind of sitting here with this army. I don't know why he's doing that. He should just be moving them over here. And also this army, I'm sure, was here before. But we can still feel pretty good about Therados. Because Therados, I'm going to move this scout in to get a scouting battle report if possible. Although the Queen of Storms will probably simply retreat. But I want to see what happens. Maybe she's super competent and she's going to stand her ground. I don't know. What else is there to say? Yeah, so Therados is sending in their Queen of Storms, so their army might not have committed, but that's still a pretty significant thing. Hinnom is definitely going to be on the back foot for a while, but he's going to continue raiding me, and he's got these forces here. I really want to find out what are the odds of that his Dominion strength lowers when his god comes back alive, as opposed to losing a different path. These giants have so much HP, and they also have regen from regen rings, that I'm not actually sure if I can fight them with Leech. I think in order to fight them with Leech, I need to use something like 5 Raktapatas all at once, casting Leech. Which I will do, but maybe next turn when I have some more Blood Slaves. This army's going to continue to advance. We have our Gem Scout, we have our guy staying back to storm the castle, we have these guys moving into this province because it's a nice, efficient research province. In fact, this guy can dump these items too on someone else in my empire, and he can move over into the enhanced research province as well. What else is going on? Who else is researching? Now I need to find some poor sod to take up these research items. Also, I decided to dismantle my little Raktapata thug that never saw action over here, because we have Leech now. And that's it. So, as you can see, our income, we're very pleased by this term, because our income went up quite a lot. We have some disposable monies now. But the downside is that, and we were even able to train some mages, the downside is that we don't have our death sites. We don't have the death here, the death here, we don't have the death here, and so we're still a bit low on death income. It's going to be a while before we get some more. Actually, I'll send a message to the Meconian player asking if he'll sell me some death gems. If he can send me 10 if he can send me 10 death gems, I'll be able to summon another Wraith Lord, and I'll never get tired of doing that. Even if Hinnom does develop Mind Hunt, which I think is probably quite a good spell against them, it'll be useful versus Pan, or it'll be nice in general, or I can just mix them into armies if Mind Hunt's killing them, armies that have astral casters. And so there you have it. That's our turn. We even started to make another one of these chaps, although that makes me wonder who I have patrolling here. I should probably have someone patrolling. I'll have him patrol and just cast some air elementals. I don't want too many people to patrol because it might be a waste of resources. Anyway, that's our turn. That's our turn for today. And I hesitate to say that things are looking up, because we still have raiders everywhere. Niflheim is being more aggressive. I should probably punish him a little bit to get him to calm it, to cool it down. But we only had 60 blood slaves, so I don't know if things are looking up for us yet. We can only really... I'm going to blood hunt in my capital with a blood 6 mage, which is probably overkill. I'm probably going to kill my income a bit, or a lot. We're blood hunting here, which is nice. In fact, maybe 2 blood hunters is too little. Let's take it up to 4. And let's include these guys as well. Oh, and we have that guy. I don't know if I... Where is he even going? Oh, he's actually moving somewhere. He's moving into this province. So yes, we have all sorts of thugs and counter-thugs and raiders moving around. But all that happened this turn was killing a lot of PD. We shall have to see if we catch any enemy thugs next turn. And we'll have to see if Atlantis attacks us. And we'll have to see if Theridos moves on Pan. And we'll have to see if Hinnom is able to recover his losses and organise another army. So, see you chaps in turn 62 when that comes around.